I work with a lot of students, and every once in a while, I meet one that really touches my heart. Earlier this year, I was working with a student named Ben, and sometimes during an evaluation, you throw out comments to see if the student responds, and if so, how they respond. And one of the things I threw out was that I had started painting, and I was wondering, was I going to get a response? Anyway, he finished his problem, and he got up and looked at a picture I had in my office, and he turned to me and said, "Bob Ross would be really proud." And that was just really special to me. And then I saw him a couple weeks later. I happened to be in his class for something, and it was so cute because I heard him turn to his teacher and say, "Did you know that she's a professional artist?" And I explained to him pretty quickly, I wouldn't say I'm a professional yet, but I am working on it. Anyway, so Ben had asked if he could at some point see an actual painting that I've done as opposed to a picture, and so I decided actually to go ahead and paint a picture and then offer it to Ben if he would like it. So Ben, this is for you. So I'm not going to show every detail because it would be pretty boring, but I thought Ben might be interested in seeing how this magic happens. Anyway, I have some basically some white acrylic paint on the back of this canvas, and one of the things that I learned from Bob Ross was using something like liquid white and applying it to the canvas. So I'm going to do that real quick. I don't do everything necessarily conventionally, so this is my liquid white, and you're supposed to do a thin coat, and so I am just rubbing this on with my paintbrush to get that with that. So, and that's, just kind of fun doing that back and forth like that. But I do work basically off of my kitchen table, and that's where I have my paints and the rest of my brushes and my cleaning fluid. Okay, so what I'm thinking that I would like to do is a winter painting, keeping it very simple, just like white and brown probably, and just making like a big bare tree and maybe having a fence in there. And so I'm going to get my brown paint ready. So as I was getting the brown paint ready, I thought, nah, I love color. I'm going to add just a little bit of blue to the background of the sky. So got a little too much blue there. So I'm just going to add a little bit of blue. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of blend that a little bit. So nothing too fancy or too harsh. I just felt like I was going to want some kind of separation there. Okay. So I'm going to add a little fence to the background. I don't have a lot of experience doing this, so it's always a little bit of learning. But and I'm not a pro at using a palette knife, but this is a little brown paint on a palette knife, and I'm going to put my my fence along here. You might be able to tell I added a little bit of red to that. Now this is a thin little brush, and I'm just going to kind of close that fence. So I'm also going to add some of the posts going down. So I'm just going to do this by hand. So there's my little fence. One of the things I've learned is sometimes it's really helpful to just pick up the canvas and turn it around. So I'm gonna just make my line like that. All right, so all right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add a big tree over to the side. Okay, so I have some brown paint on my brush, and I am just going to make a tree. Reload a little. And let's see. We're going to have a bunch of different size branches. So I also recently got, it's actually a floral brush for painting flowers, but I'm going to use it on my tree here. And it's just important to especially get the first layer dark, and then you can do like different things with it. So I'm just gonna put in a bunch of smaller branches. And you know, of course, a tree can be any shape you want. There's really no specific way it should look. Although some trees do look better than others. And again, I'm just putting in a bunch of branches, and I'll be adding to the branches. Did you ever wonder what the top of a tree looks like? You know, before I started painting, I never really thought about it. And once I started painting, and especially trying to do trees, because they're actually kind of hard to do, I realized that the tops of the trees are just like grass, you know, it's just stopped growing, but it's just like a piece of grass up there, you know. It's just kind of neat to actually observe that kind of stuff. This one a little bit longer. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is get that thin brush again. It's called a liner brush, and I'm going to make a bunch of small, really thin branches. At least that's my hope, my intention. So this is what I have so far, and I think it's looking okay so far. I do like to do highlights and just do whatever special things I can think of. So I think I'm going to add some white or tan on the tree to add even more highlights. Right now there are some purple, black, and brown highlights, and probably won't be able to see that very well on here. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so I like the way that came out. The white definitely made it pop out. So it's kind of like an unusual looking tree. So originally I was thinking of just basically doing that, but now I feel like I need to do something down here in the white area. So I have to think about that a second. I was thinking about putting like rocks, but I'm not really a good rock person. It's kind of too late to add mountain in the background, or I don't know. So I'm gonna add some small, I hope, some bushes. But even though this is not like an active snow scene, I will probably need to add some snow to the top of the fence, and I will have to add snow probably to look better to the bushes I'm about to do. So again, I'm just going to kind of pick this up, and I feel like there should be bushes by that fence. Let's just leave that so you can see it. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit there. Of course, it's not going to stay green because this is a winter scene, you know, but we have some greenery. You know, some bushes are green. And I feel like there needs to be something at the base of the tree. So we're just going to add some stuff there. But I don't want to take away really from the effect I was trying to get, but I do feel like I need something here. So I'm going to reload my green, and maybe I could just do like a little bush here. You know, kind of like an uneven kind of bush, right? And I'm going to go do the white now. This is what I ended up with. I did add some snow and some greenery, and of course I have here like kind of like a little path. Still feeling like there should be, I don't know, maybe something else, but I think it looks pretty good like this. And I'm just going to add my signature, and I always add my little cat logo. So I'll find a good place for the kitty cat, and I'll show you that in a second too. I did add a little bit more to this painting. Let me pull it up here. So I did add my cat, and the cat is sitting on the fence. Sometimes I put the cat near my signature, but when there's a good place to put it actually in the picture, I try to do that. And I choose a cat because I love cats, and my current cat is a black cat, my last cat was a black cat, and that's just easier for me to paint. I hope, Ben, that when you look at this painting, assuming that you want it, I'm going to offer it, you don't have to have it, but if you do decide to accept it as my gift to you, I hope that you always remember through your lifetime that when you were back in school, that you did make an impression on somebody, a total stranger. I felt that that really encouraged me to continue painting. And I hope that you follow your dreams too. And I know you're an artist as well. And so I wish you the very, very best. And I hope that in some small way, I've helped you to reach your goals as well.